All right, I'm going to call the Tuesday, September 20th, 2022 tree board meeting to order. We're going to start with a roll call. In the room, we have Mike Sarla. Here. Kathy Schreifels.
Here.
Dallas Pearson.
Here.
I'm Nick Cantala, and we have Lauren Coda, our staff liaison.
Here.
Do we know if Stan is going to be coming at some point?
I did not hear anything from Stan or Paul Renke.
Okay.
So.
Well, we may have Mayor Renke at some point,
But
we'll see.
Yeah, but we are missing Marge and Glenn.
Marge and Glenn are not here. Stan Karwoski is not here yet either. Okay, next up is Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Deb's here now. Hi, Deb. We do not have a council liaison to provide us with an update for that, so we will skip straight to number 5 on our agenda, which is approval of minutes, which we also don't have.
Okay, so yeah, just for a little bit of an explanation, we had a recording secretary. They were transferring her recording duties for us to the public works receptionist, Miranda, and they never, I kept pushing it, they never got to coordinate. Teresa's a half-time employee, and they never were able to hook up. Miranda was getting all kinds of new duties and whatnot, but and then now Teresa is not with us any longer. They never had their meeting, and 2 weeks ago I was told I was on my own to do the minutes because all other commissions do their own minutes. So I in the last 2 or 3 weeks since I've been told that, I haven't had any time to get it done. So I've got nothing for you for minutes right now. But the next meeting, I'll have them all done, so.
Keep it brief so the minutes are easy for you.
Yeah, we'll just have to, there you go. We'll just have to catch up next meeting, so. And I'll try to get them mailed out early, so, because we'll have, so we have an amended last week's meeting, and then we're gonna have this meeting. So we're gonna have 3, so I'll get them mailed out early so you guys can look at them. So.
Sounds good. Thank you, Lauren. Next up is open forum. If anybody has public comments. Deb? No comments from Deb. That's our public right now. Do you want me to just move on to old business then, Lauren? We'll just leave that open in case anybody does come in and wants to say anything?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, we'll do that. You have a 2022 spring planting update for us.
So yeah, the only thing I really have to say about that is we did finally get all the plants sometime, I think, in August, and we did get them all planted out. That's coming along nicely. The stuff that we got in early is growing well. It got watered well this summer, even through the drought. Everything looks good. It's a little bit weedy right now, but I'm not too worried about that. If it gets ugly, we'll for sure get in there and deal with it, but we got other things going on right now. But yeah, everything's growing, looking well. Everything survived the drought, so yeah.
Beautiful. And then the EAB grant update.
My biggest issue is I need to compile last winter and spring's work. I haven't done that yet. I haven't had time this summer to deal with that. I'm going to be trying to do that probably maybe through the middle of October so that I can start sending things to the DNR, submitting expenses. We've got about 60% of the boulevard ash tree inventory done. We're pushing hard on that, trying to get it done by the end of September. We got 79 trees injected this summer from Rainbow Tree Care, thank you. And so that went well. And that's about it. Oh, I think I mentioned at the last meeting, we lost trying to get through city council with approval for our contractor that put bids in on it. We missed our EAB window, so we didn't do any of the contractor removals this spring, but we'll be starting, as soon as our window opens up again here this fall, we'll be starting that, and I'll have a new contractor list ready to go, so we'll be trying to get as much of the remaining untreated EAB boulevard trees down this winter before April, so, which is roughly 270 trees still, so. That's all I have for the EAB update.
Related to that, when is the city contract up for renewal on that one?
June, the last day in June of 2023, so we got plenty of time. Okay. I'm gonna try to get invoices submitted before the end of December here this year. So any expenses we spent out of this year's budget will get reimbursed and credited to the account, so.
Cool. All right. Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns about any of that? Okay. On to new business, 2022 fall buckthorn removal.
So I've kind of changed my mind on the area. I did some scouting. Last meeting I gave a map that was on the north side of Mud Lake, east of the Boardwalk Peninsula. And it's remote, it's a long walk. If we park in city, I mean, if we park in the Discovery Center parking lot for the pavilion, it's a long walk. If we park in Castle Elementary School, it's a long walk. No matter where we park, it's a long walk. And I'm thinking it's all old buckthorn. It's very large and there's nothing growing underneath it. Dense canopy, dense shade, and mature, gorgeous oaks above it. And I hate to expose all that bare mineral soil by cutting all them out of there. So I think what I'm gonna do is send my crew out to basil treat with oil, the 4E and basil oil, and let them stand to provide shade, and then we'll scatter some seeds and plant some plants and just let them die that way. And it's a new method I want to try just to see how it's going. I do it in a few other places, but this is a perfect area where I think it's kind of the way to do it. So I want to move down into the southeast corner of the nature preserve, and there's a map in your packet on that. The very southeast corner, there's some pretty thick regrowth that hasn't been touched since the first time it was cut. And there's plenty down there that if we get more people than we planned on to expand further west, there's more buckthorn down there than what I have highlighted here. I think what I have highlighted here is enough for what we do. And there's, like I say, there's plenty more to deal with if we run out of, if we're too fast or whatever, or we get more people than we expected, there's plenty down there to deal with. So
cool.
I think this is the area that I would like to do it in. If you guys have other ideas, you can certainly let me know. We can change that, but this is what I'm going with for now, so.
That's a good spot. The only concern I have is, but it looks like it butts up to private property there?
It is the stuff to the east is the Jacobson farm. I'm on real good terms with her. Right. And she will be happy if the kids drift over her property line there. Cool. But I will make contact with her before that. So yeah, that won't be a problem. To the south, I haven't made contact with them at all, but we don't really, there isn't really any buckthorn south of that property line.
Okay.
And there is a fence that's like 20 feet off the property line that kind of stops people from going that way anyways, so it's not a big deal on the south side.
Okay.
What's the date and time?
Oh, so now, here, you're gonna catch me off guard here. I might have wrote that down so I didn't forget it. Yep. October 15th from 8 a.m. to noon. And Deb can maybe correct me if I got something different, if I told you something different for your sign up. Okay. And I did make contact with both National Honor Societies, Tarleton and North. They're both on board. They should be putting a sign-up sheet up for the kids and pushing it any time now. So, yeah, it should be fine.
Cool.
Both of those National Honor Society advisors were on board. Very happy to help, so.
I have a question. It's kind of a little off topic, but, so I've been walking around a lake down in Woodbury, and they've got the goats out eating everything. But they take off the leaves and the very softest branches, but they leave the main stem. Does that actually kill buckthorn then, or is it?
Over time, it does. They will sprout back, just like when you cut them off at the ground, they sprout back like crazy.
This isn't even cut off at the ground. There's still the main stalk and some of the branches even left. They just took the leaves and
Yep,
so it didn't look very complete to me.
so you need to repeat the process. Even like when you cut them off at the ground, you have to, in general, the science says you have to cut them off 3 times a summer for up to 3 years before they die.
There's a lot of energy reserves underground. It's just going to keep resprouting until it exhausts that.
But so, yeah, you need to put the goats back in, I would assume at least twice a summer to,
Got it. As far as I know, this is the first time we had talked about the goats before, and I was just wondering how effective it was, and seeing what they're doing, it doesn't look like it's perhaps even as good as
the
sending.
county at Lake Elmo says that it's working. Other than that, I don't know, I don't have any experience with it. I haven't seen a lot of it. But the county says it's working.
It does look like it's working out at Lake Elmo Park Reserve.
Okay,
I just don't know how cost effective it would be for
Right,
an
that's-
entity like the city.
yeah. It is expensive, like $800 an acre, and and that's every time you put them in there.
Yeah.
And
It looks like they just take out everything that's green
yeah,
in that area.
yep. And the natives, in general, natives bounce back from things like that, but the buckthorn's gonna bounce back too unless you keep hitting it, so. And I mean,
Just a question on the technology. If
you
it was,
keep hitting natives and they're gonna die too, so, you know, I haven't done a lot of research on that science yet, and there's not a lot of it out there yet, but it's growing, I mean.
Thank you.
National Honor Society, and yeah, October 15th, that's everything I have on Fall Buckthorn.
Do we feed them after then?
The goats?
No, no, the National Honor Society.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lunch, it'll be, right, it'll be 8 till